views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Well, my girl's got the sweetest pussy.
Did you laugh?
Her face.
We say bad words here, like really
Lots.
bad words.
Lots and lots.
It's adult content.
Adult.
It's absolutely adult content.
Even with a 13-year-old?
So, just really quick, just for those who may have missed it. God, why can't I type the name of our show in? Like I just started here. Bounty.
So I wanted to start. So for those of you who saw the show last week, we talked about kinks, fetishes that people indulged in. And I wanted to start with some personal stuff, like which ones have you actually indulged in?
Oh. So I'm just going to share my thought process. I brought them again, just in case. But because we have Abby here, I remember the last time that Mama Abby, Miss Mama logged in, and I'm like, I don't want... I got to meet your mom.
Mom
and
was
I'm
here
like,
this weekend, and
I'm
we
like,
heard some stories.
Did you? Because I'm like, I don't know if I want your mom tuning in when we're talking about like butt stuff.
Oh, we heard all about sitting on faces this weekend.
Oh boy, from your mother?
From my mother.
Moms are the best.
Yeah, my friends learned a whole lot about my mother this weekend. It was great.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So okay, so then
Back to the kinky subject.
back to the kinky sex list. So we had talked about a couple as far as like what I'm into.
We did?
I said we talked about a couple, but you want to talk about what we personally are into.
What
out of
have you
this
done?
Huge list.
What have you participated in?
So, obviously role play.
Okay. Can you give any kind of details?
No.
Like, were you a pirate, or you were a princess and he was a pirate, or?
I mean, keep going, and I'll tell you if any
Doctor
are
and
incorrect.
Were you a whore and he was a John?
Kind of the reverse.
Oh.
But no, more so, it just depends on what the moment calls for. I'm not the most dominant person out there, but I can play the role if I need to. So, like, I'm not afraid to kind of jump into it and lead if that's, what he's into, but it's just not always my preference.
Have you ever been the dom with the tools?
No,
Oh.
not any major tools. Like, I'll stick something in your butt, but it's not electricity. So,
Which is a whole
just
nother
kind of
fetish.
a balance, right? It's totally a fetish, which I saw once at a sex club. I saw it being done in a room, and I kind of stood there like, oh my goodness, I never saw this. You hear of things, but I never saw it like up front. So it was kind of...
It has the most benign name, a violet wand. Violet.
Right.
Like the little pretty flower.
It wasn't so pretty. And then the wand, I think they zapped him too much. Like, the wand didn't want to work anymore. So then they're like, listen, we're just going to burn candles on you. So I'm still like, I'm not leaving yet. Like, I'm not out.
You like watching a lot of them.
Right.
Not necessarily participating in them.
Right. No, I'm not necessarily a participator, but I will watch.
You got a little
and
giddy.
I will invite myself to watch.
And I'm using this word purposely. You got a little giddy when we talked about the horseplay.
Right.
Have you ever done that?
Not horse, different pet play.
Poodle?
But not actual animals, just to clarify. Like, I'm not like bringing my cat in her carrier for an evening out. And I'm dressed in little chili in a leather hat and, some chaps. Like, no, it's not how it works. But where the individual was more my pet, then yes. So I have, so the one I'm into that I haven't, we've talked about it so many times on here, and I haven't gone yet and actually participated, is furries. Like that's
Oh.
Full on furry.
Yeah.
full on furry. Yeah, like I want to be dressed like a little fox, and then I don't know, like fuck a wolf or something. Like just something. You know.
Well, just don't do it in Vegas, or wait till winter.
I'm just a really quick story. Here's how I even found out about furries. There was a bash held in Seattle one time, and one of the gentlemen who
So many
was
furries in Seattle.
right, and they just so happened to be at a hotel the same time as a furry convention. So one of the guys there was messaging me, and he's like, "Oh my God, you will never believe what's at the hotel." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "It's a furry convention." So of course I'm Googling. I'm like, "Yeah, furry convention. All right." You know, like I knew what it was, but I didn't. And once I started Googling, I couldn't stop. It was very, you know, there's interspecies and there's just a lot.
So if you're anything of a seamstress and you want to gift Toxie with fox, is that the one you want? Is fox?
like a red fox would be
A red
probably more
fox
ideal for me.
outfit. You can send it here to WWDB TV.
If you
I
want to
might
help
know
me,
somebody who can help you with that.
Right. If you want
To
to help me
Sin
get to
City Bounty,
conventions.
care of WWDB TV, 1825 East Sahara.
Oh, we're really
Well,
going there.
no. What is it, Johnny?
17.
1785 East Sahara, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89104.
You're really going to get all kinds of
mean,
stuff here now.
You obviously will get photos of me in said costume.
Oh, definitely.
And of me on the prowl at a furry convention.
But only if they
which-
join your, what's the group called?
Patreon?
Yeah, only if they
There we
join the
go.
Patreon group. Then
Well,
you
I
get
think
it
if you're the one that sends it, you're getting it all.
all. Right.
No,
So
you don't
we'll
even
put
have
in
to
the
join the
The rest of
Patreon.
it.
Right.
But
right.
for the rest of the public, it will be on our Patreon. Right.
Nice.
There you go.
This works. This works. So yeah, that's how I first heard about it.
What about you? Have you indulged in any fetishes at all?
I
You
have.
are, to clarify, she is over the age of 18.
Yeah, I was
just
only
okay.
kidding in the beginning.
Not 13 years old. I have. Role playing.
Were you a princess and he was a pirate?
No, more like doctor, nurse
Oh.
kind of thing. Or sorry, nurse patient. That kind of thing.
Breaking out the medical charts.
Oh yeah, actually, Hips and Curves had a great nurse costume that year. So
Really?
It was, yeah. It was
Did you
pretty
take
cool.
temperatures? And
You were like, we are violating HIPAA left and right. Like we are.
I think I actually did make a comment, something similar to that. It was pretty good, but
We're
yeah.
gonna leave HIPAA out the door right now as you get naked.
Yeah, but not anything extreme, not quite the furry stuff
Were you interested in anything? Anything you want to try?
I've always been like, so I like to think that I'm a pretty dominant personality day-to-day life, so I tend to be more on the submissive side, but I haven't really found a lot of partners who have been able to match that the way that I
Right.
would like.
So that's very true.
Also, my ex is in the comments laughing at this, so this is awesome.
Oh, nice. So as everyone scrolls to find out who that is.
Timothy says, I found out about furries in high school. The anime kids were super knowledgeable. Does furries fall does anime fall? Because that's a whole nother genre in itself. Where people dress up
I
as
mean,
anime
listen,
characters.
if you're working on a budget, you're going to get a costume that goes for both. So
That's true.
You're going to be like a discount furry / anime.
Lisa says, I found about furries when watching CSI.
Oh, there you go.
There's a television educating the public.
So you can learn a lot from CSI.
I have never done role play because I cannot stop laughing.
Oh, well, laughing
Can
is
get into
kind of
character.
right. I mean, laughing is a given sometimes.
No, I can't
Or
stop.
if I have somebody who generally tends to be a little not as aggressive and they try to be aggressive and then I'm like, that was a good try.
Oh my god, I've done that before too.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't not.
Kind of shoots our self-esteem for a minute
Yeah.
there.
So sorry to all those out there who aren't giving it a second try because of me. But what about, okay, so No role playing.
No. I've done BDSM.
Wait, not even Star Trek?
No, not even Star Trek. Although I would be willing to try it. But I doubt if I could do it.
Not even like a Doctor Who or...
I would be willing to try any nerd role playing. I would even probably do Babylon 5 role nerd playing, and I don't even like that show.
I could be in the middle of a role nerd playing and not actually know I'm in it.
You would not know
'cause
anything.
I have no idea what any of that is, so... yeah. I mean, are you into those types?
Like the
Nerdies?
nerdy. I have a nerdy tendencies, but not really of a sexual nature.
Timothy said, I want a whole tax accountant role play where a good portion of the role play is dedicated to actually doing taxes. W2 hot. I mean, I would do that as well. I also have a thing for Uber drivers, so
Oh.
Really?
I flirt with every and all Uber driver. Like, every Uber driver there is.
I score a lot of numbers that way.
I did. I was actually leaving a party, and it was under my friend's name. She's the one who got the Uber, and she's like, I'd like to clarify for the record, because I sat up front.
Does Uber
She's
Eats
like-
count?
No. Although they should, because they bring me food, but they make me come out to the car to get it, so fuck that shit. Yeah, fuck
What about
that.
a guy in an Uber t-shirt?
No.
No?
No.
About like
I
a
mean,
UPS
They have to
driver?
actually
Is that
be
kind of the same
driving you
thing?
somewhere?
So a UPS
Delivering you a package?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but you better be delivering me a package. Like, don't come in like a UPS driver and you're like, I think I'm about to get some, and you're like, I'm actually on my way to work. Like, no, there better be a package.
Okay.
So,
People are taking notes in the crowd.
right. Bring a little Amazon, whatever. I mean. So my friend, again, going back, we're in the Uber, and she's like, I'd just like to know for my own personal ratings that this is my friend, not the one who got the Uber. She's like,
That's awesome.
so when you rate this experience, it's based on me. So,
The Uber drivers don't like it when you flirt with them?
no, they always flirt back.
Oh, okay. Then
So-
she should have, like, the most excellent rating ever.
She should have an excellent rating, but I think she got, nervous or something, that it was, they're going to put in there, like, she flirted with me or whatever. But, yeah.
I would like to try a lot of different kinks, but it's got to be with the right person.
For sure.
That's
Right.
the only thing.
So that's the key.
Yeah.
It's not a random,
Yeah.
like, kink thing. Stephanie said, I like cute anal plugs that look like little ponytails, especially when I'm horsing around. So that's totally cool. Like, that would be, like, yeah, that would be hot. I would
Would that be the
totally
kind of
do
thing that you would have like Old Town Road playing in the background?
Yes.
Or- okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely. I would be like, listen, I'm going to stick this horsetail in your ass.
I have a really great image
And
now 'cause
ride
she
on your
loves that
back.
song. So cool.
So, hold on. Would you do it to them, or would you take it in the butt?
Well, in that case, like, I feel like I would be the cowboy, like, or the cowgirl.
And that was the other question that I had is, for somebody who had a fetish that they wanted to do, that you'd be willing to try or whatever,
Right.
would you be able to reverse the roles?
I mean, sure, I do. So, like I said, I tend to, much like you said, I tend to have a little bit more of a dominating personality in real life. And I have to have a lot of control. It's just how my life, works. I have, like, control. I live a controlled chaos. And so when I'm not in that controlled chaos, then I like to make zero decisions. Like, I like to, like, tell me where to go, tell me what to do, what do you want me to put on, just tell me, and then that's it. So,
You're in the same boat. I'm in the same boat as well.
right. So Johnny, is he gone? How dominant are you? I mean, would you be the horse?
I
Or would-
think I think I would laugh.
I would too.
If
I'm
Johnny
sorry,
started to
'cause we
get
love you.
dominant, I would probably giggle.
Because we,
Because you're too nice of a guy
right.
to really take seriously.
Also, because we tried to get you laid, and you're like,
That's why
I'm
I
okay. So,
Beware the wrath of a quiet mayor.
so I know this doesn't tie in because the event that we're about to talk about was in no way any type of lifestyle in any way, shape, or
Do
form.
we have like a palate cleanser we can talk
I
about?
do, because I'm going to talk about I saw a human mermaid. So,
Okay, here we go. Our palate cleanser.
Mom, you can log in now. Yours, not mine. So, Abby had an event this weekend, and we're going to talk about it, and you can tell us more. But I have to say that that there was a human mermaid there,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And I don't know how I don't live as a human mermaid, like all the time.
Costume changes. She pulled up with a suitcase. She messaged me and asked if she could bring her tail. She also brought a floating clam. It was
How did I miss a
awesome.
floating clam?
There's photos, I promise I will show you. That was beautiful. It was wonderful.
Also, where does one get a floating clam?
It's giant. I'm assuming somewhere on Amazon.
Pool store.
It was pretty cool.
I'm
But she made the tail.
very
She
upset
makes
that
her
I
own
missed the
tails.
floating clam.
So she actually sent her husband home. Yeah, she made her bra thing, and she sent her husband home, or her boyfriend, I'm not sure which, to or go and grab her other tail because the one was sinking.
This is the life I want to live. Like everybody says, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? This is the life. This is
Yeah.
So actually, so
Yes,
in 2
Kim.
years, my
Yes, I would.
daughter goes off to college, and so I'm battling right now with this whole what do I do? Like I'm used to being a mom. You know, what do I do? What do I do? And I think I found it out now.
There you go.
I'm just gonna mermaid it.
So was she there as a focal point, entertainment-ish?
No, she actually
Or-
she was coming to the pool party anyways, and she said, "Would it be okay if I bring my tail?" She followed me on Instagram, I think, and I went and looked at her page, and I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do it." So
Did
I
she
did not, on the other
swim
hand,
and-
realize that she would have costume changes and a full-size clam, but it was a great focal point. So it was fun. It was cool.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it
She
was.
swam, did
Yeah,
the
she's.
whole
I mean, she was kind of
mermaidy-
swimming around doing the mermaid thing, and I think she was. So she's actually laying on one of the donut floats in our group photo. So
I saw that one.
yeah. So, but
That's
it was.
the life.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I mean, how can you say no to a mermaid? When she
No.
messaged me, I was like, "You're gonna
If-
bring a mermaid tail? Cool, let's go."
Honestly, if you're ever coming over to my house or coming to anything with me or doing anything involving me, and you want to bring a mermaid tail, like
So that would be a good role play for you.
there's never that would be an amazing role play for
Can
me.
you
But I would
swim?
have to be the mermaid. Not well, but I'm fat. I'm not gonna drown. Like
We float.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Although my ass sinks me up and over, but I feel like a tail would counter that.
This is our people, just so you know. Floating clam sounds like the worst UTI ever. Our people. We love you.
Stephanie, you can borrow some of my kids. Thank you. I will do
The
that.
floaties.
No, her kids after mine goes to college.
Oh, I see, I see,
I'm
I
already
see.
planning to be that weird, crazy adult who shows up at the soccer field because that's all she's known.
Are you and your daughter glued to the Women's World Cup right now?
So she is in California at a tournament and could not talk earlier today because first she had a game and then Women's World Cup. So, yeah. So we're not conversing right this moment because soccer.
And
So.
will you watch it when you get home so you can be up on the
I will.
convo with your daughter?
No, she'll keep me up on it.
Okay.
I just
Full
need to,
rundown.
yeah, I just need to smile and like she already has her pick. She already has, what the order is, who's gonna go out, who's gonna go on, all of that. So that's her jam. I just smile and go with it. So yeah,
All right, a palate cleanser out of the way.
we're back to mermaids.
Back to mermaids.
So let's talk about the party. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Saturday.
So Saturday was the first Curvy Confidence pool party. It was a body positive pool party. I've been kind of doing the body positive advocacy influencer thing for about just over a year now. Actually, it's been about a year and a half now. That's crazy. But only over the last couple months have I really kind of tried to change the direction I'm heading with it and do more body positive focus. Size acceptance events are great. The club nights are fun. But I think one of the big focal points for me was that when I came into the community, I came from going, literally the first party that I went to was the Excellence Plus Winter Bash, and I was like in a cardigan and leggings and just fully covered up, like so layered up that it was like 80 degrees and I'm layered up because I was just hiding my body. And then, I went to the events, I had this like huge awakening with it, and within the next 2 months I was in Cocoa Beach in a bikini. So I was like, this is something that I wanted to open that up to other people, the opportunity. What were you going to say?
I've met a lot of women in the community that happens to. They go to one event and all of a sudden it's clothes off or fashion change.
I had to like completely redo my wardrobe.
Right.
Because I was so used to wearing leggings and cardigans.
But the one thing you have on your side is the skills at the social media and branding and all that stuff.
Yes. So I was excited to have the, especially with, for when it's Vegas, I had access to a great backyard for the event itself that was private. And then, Shrill came out on Hulu. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
Okay. And it was kind of like this big awakening around the United States that people didn't realize that events like this already happen. With the different bashes and events, I think even Golden Confidence used to do a pool party. There's a pool party in LA called the Big Bottom Bash later this summer. There's a lot of events that happen that people just don't realize are happening. And the focus typically is for women only. I wanted to kind of combine that because I do have some Instagram followers and some friends who are on the male side that are bigger and have voiced that they do also experience similar tendencies when it comes to being comfortable at the pool, whether you take your shirt off or not. And so I think it was important to include both. So I did a ladies only kickoff party in the morning, and that was for 2 hours. And I was really excited because Plus This came up from Los Angeles, and they have a group called Fatch Comedy, and they did a sketch, and it was so cute. They had bikinis on, and they had prom dresses for one. They did two singing, I guess it was like a musical skit. So basically about being plus size and trying on clothes and wearing a bikini to the beach and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. Got a lot of great feedback.
Let me jump back to them for a moment. So they're a comedy group?
Plus This actually has a podcast that they do weekly, I think. And then and that's Nikki Bailey and Kathy Deach. I don't know if I said that right, but and then they have joined with 4 other women. I think there's actually more than that. There's a big group of them, but 6 of them came up total from LA, and it's called Fatch, so Fat Chick Comedies kind of combined. And they do shows in LA. So, and they do more than just the musical. They do like actual comedy too, but like the skits themselves. But so they came up and they were excited to come out to a pool party. They kind of helped me do a little bit of MC work, which was fun because the drinks were flowing at that point. So they were already funny.
Easy, right?
They were already funny. They were even funnier once some drinks were in their system. So it was cool. And it was just a good vibe, I think. I think we had a lot of, there were a lot of women who came out who it was their first time coming to something like that, who had messaged me on Instagram once I started posting it and said, I'm really nervous. I've never been to anything like this. And some even bought the bikini for the first time and wore it. And they said that they felt 100% comfortable. People were super welcoming. There were some guys there. I know that in the comments, some people did say, was it an all-ladies party? Which is interesting. So it was hosted, the pool party itself was hosted by not hosted, but sponsored by Dirty Diva. So we did have some individuals from the adult entertainment industry that came. And part of the...
You had some well-known individuals from the adult industry.
Yeah. And so with that, we kind of we were really pushing the body positive piece of it, though, which was, obviously it wasn't a lifestyle party. It wasn't an adult entertainment party. There was no nudity.
Right. No, they were fully dressed.
Everyone looked great, honestly. And it was just a really good atmosphere. I think some people sometimes think that every event's going to be like every other event. And I think that was something that was really important to me, to make sure that it was comfortable for everybody that came, not just, by all means, people meet and you network with different, with males and females and from there. But I didn't want it to be the focal point. I wanted it to be body positive.
I will say I knew coming in not to take my clothes off, which I tend to do when there's a pool nearby. Where I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
So it was very clear, and everyone was very comfortable.
To see how successful you were at the party, though, how many laps did you sit on?
Number one, did not drink. I stayed completely sober. I did a little driving afterwards. So, and not like Uber.
Yeah.
I did a little driving afterwards. So I was completely sober. I first rolled up. I think I saw you when I first rolled. I was in full mom gear. I was like, my hair was all over the place. I had just been rolling, bumping some music with wind blowing in my hair, yoga pants or whatever. And I pulled up to bring something. And I see all these people walking in, they're all looking gorgeous and everything. And I'm like, I'm just going to hurry and leave and go home and maybe, fix it up. But I was dropping something off. And then, I had a little bit more mom stuff to do. And then I came back. So I missed the earlier hours.
Okay.
And I caught up, people were kind of catching me up as to what's been going on. And people have kind of been in and out, and a lot of people, at different points throughout the day. But what I will tell you is that when I got there, I was immediately comfortable. Like I just walked in, I said hi to a few people, grabbed a seat, acclimated for a moment, and then hopped right in.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, it was super comfortable.
Yeah, and that was one thing that I got some great feedback from people who had gone to some previous events too, who just aren't into the party scene. So that was one thing I think that was really cool. We definitely we had Jello shots, we had booze, but if you weren't into that and you just wanted to swim and have fun, there was that too. So we had people dancing. There was a DJ. It was DJ King Smash. We did some giveaways. I had a lot of great sponsors for the giveaways. And then we just, it was.
Who was the Kate Spade giveaway?
That was Living Large Chicago.
And I missed that.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, they donated the Kate Spade, so. And the bags for the gift bags, which was really cool. So.
Well, congratulations on an excellent
Thank you. It was,
party.
Yeah, we actually sold out of our tickets prior to the event, so.
It was essentially no drama.
Yes.
So that was,
Essentially.
Yeah. Because
we made it through the day without any cops called, and there was no blood, so I was proud.
When you have that many people,
Not that happens
No.
at events around town.
But you
But
always
here's the
plan
deal.
for the
Number
worst, I feel
one-
like.
Number one, we're in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Period.
Drinking.
Things happen in Las Vegas. People drink, they overdrink. It's hot out.
Yeah.
They don't take care. They don't take precautions. There was plenty of shade there, plenty of opportunities to, not just sit there and knock back shots.
Yeah.
I think it's the way you had the bar. You bring a drink, you get a band, you get to go to the bar. Like that was pretty cool, and I think that probably also helped keep the flow,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, Michelle did a great job. She actually rents out that event space now. It's Oasis Shakur, but and she bartended the entire time. Super trooper, so that's how we did it. Was bottle donation, or you could BYOB, as long as there was no glass by the pool. So a lot of people did the bottle donation, and then you just could come and go as you want to the bar. So so that worked out really well.
It's very Red Rooster.
Yeah, but like I said, when you and minus the nakedness for those who know what the Red Rooster is.
Might have been there a time or two.
Been there once or twice. I think I tried to get you to go to a
Yeah.
different one
Yep.
with me.
Yep.
Not just me, not like it. Just to clarify, it wasn't like, hey,
It's a
go
good
check this
system.
out.
The Rooster
It
has a
is.
great system.
It is.
They do,
Yeah.
and a lot of them work that way. You bring your bar, it stays
Yeah.
behind there. I'm certain if somebody came up and they were completely sloshed, that she would have been like,
Yeah.
hey, let's grab some water, chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely didn't see anybody who was over the top. I didn't see anyone reminiscent of me usually at a party. So I'm like,
Me
it was,
too, but when you're hosting it, you kind
Right.
of have to be on point. So.
Right. And so it was very chill. So it was a good time. I know a lot of the feedback, even in kind of floating around the pool, that everybody was having fun. People interacting that maybe not have met in other, scenarios.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of new faces, I think, which was cool. And that was one of the things going into it. So I was watching the attendee list, and you see a lot of the familiar faces from Vegas
Right.
who typically come to the plus-size events or size acceptance events. But for whatever reason, the event itself actually picked up quite a bit of interest on Facebook. And so when the ticket sales went on, they actually went pretty quickly. and people, for some reason, thought I was kidding, and were hitting me up after they were sold out, going, well, do you have more? And I'm like, I have a wait list.
I was almost one of those people because
Yeah.
I don't do anything immediately. Like, I'm very
Yeah.
procrastinating to life.
Yeah. Well, and the reality is, I mean, after looking at it, this was the first time doing the event there. We probably could have had more people, and of course, people canceled last minute. But it was a first run through of that particular space. And so it was just, there were a lot of really good lessons learned as far as how we would like to do things for the next party. And I think it was just a really good first experience at seeing how it would go over. So I'm excited to do something else with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else do you have coming up? You said it's the first. What is the next
The
pool party?
next pool party is going to be in September. I want to do an end of summer party because there's just so much going on in Las Vegas between now and then with the 2 bashes coming up. So that's my plan, is to shoot for September. I'm going to announce dates and tickets and all that information as soon as I have other things finalized. But I'm actually going to create on my website, it's www.curvychicchick.com, and I will have a subscribe list because a lot of people asked me how they can stay up to date on events. So anybody that wants to join that list can subscribe on my website, and they'll get a notification when we have a new event.
Talk about the t-shirts.
T-shirts. Oh yeah.
We actually need to talk to you about t-shirts.
Yes.
Because I love those shirts.
Oh yeah.
And so
Off
we
camera.
need to do, we're looking at doing more
Yes.
shirts for the show.
And booty shorts, right?
Yeah, and booty
Okay.
shorts.
Cool. So we had, I had
She's
created.
a fan. I love it.
I will rock booty shorts any day. I'll put them all over my Instagram. It'll be awesome. So we had a couple tank tops left over. They were I got tank tops for all of my girls who were volunteering for the day so that we were easily identifiable during the party. I had a couple left over, but I also had so many people reach out and ask for the t-shirts and the tank tops that I created a Teespring site. So that's also on my website. So you can purchase them. A lot of different sizes, a lot of different colors, which is what I liked because then I'm not having to keep the inventory for it.
Right.
And
Are they women's shirts
Yes.
and men's shirts?
unisex. So I have the women's flowy tanks go up to 3X, and then the unisex shirts go up to 5X. So, and they come in all kinds of colors. It's black, gray, purple, I think pink. White obviously wouldn't work with the logo that I have, so I didn't do white. But a lot of different options. I think I even have hoodies and phone cases on there because I was like, you know what? If I'm going to throw in some swag, why not? So I was excited about getting something out there because it seemed like people like the tank tops.
Right.
So
I like your little design too.
yes,
It's
yes.
cute.
I was trying to come up with something that was reminiscent of the confidence. So.
And so where does someone go now if they want to buy t-shirts from the event, the ones that are left over?
So I had posted those. I think I have 2 left. I just posted it on my personal page so they can DM me. Curvy Chic Chick also has a Facebook page. So I have my personal page and then I have an actual, like a business page. So either page is fine.
Okay. And then you also had an amazing team, said somebody who was on that amazing team.
I had a huge support group from friends. Even just people my immediate group of friends, Kristen and Katie were super helpful. They were really took point on doing the day of organization because one thing with events when you're hosting them, people like to pull you in 1,000 directions, which I mean I get because you're the one that So I mean honestly, I could not have survived through the day without those 2.
It's like your wedding day and you're the bride.
Seriously. It was funny. It was like Kristen actually put me in a timeout at one point. She was like, you need to go and sit and eat. It's 20 minutes to your room now. So, but it was great.
You could totally work that into a role play scenario. I'm just saying. Like, just
Probably
saying.
already has.
That's a good lead in.
But also I had people just from the community. Fernie worked the grill. Oh my gosh, bless her heart. She was on the grill the entire time. So she was doing the grill. Britta, Tony, I had Callie, like I said, Michelle, Stephanie. It was just a huge group of people who came out to support. And even just people who would come to events previously said, is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? So I was very grateful for everyone that was involved and who helped out. So
You're so cute.
So
you
we
can
got-
jump in. You can
So
jump in.
also,
I love this T-shirt, by the way.
So,
But
that was one thing that was really cool too. So I was trying to, again, it was the first time doing the event there, so I was trying to fill out the space. I didn't want to have a ton of vendors because I wanted it to be more intimate. I wanted it to be more focusing on the body positive. But I actually went to a twerkathon a couple weeks prior. And it was by the Identity of She, and I think it's called Twerk and Fitness. And Identity of She followed me on Instagram too, and she invited me out, and she was like, "Come check it out." She has these adorable tank tops and T-shirts, and she launched the summer collection, and it goes up to 6X now. So, and it's really hard to find good quality tank tops and T-shirts that aren't not cute.
is that where they had the one I asked you about?
Yes.
Because it was pretty eyes and thick thighs.
Yes, pretty eyes,
That's
thick
essentially that sums up
Yes.
what I contribute.
There you go. And they have
definitely getting that one.
fabulously female. They just have so many great designs. And then the thicker than a Snicker. I swear I wear that one everywhere, and I get compliments all the time. So it's one of my favorites. But
That is awesome.
yeah,
Now, next summer, something big. And you made a big announcement in collaboration with a group out of
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. The Midwest all blends into me. Like it's all just
Yeah.
one lump. But I know there's really great places in there. Just
Yeah.
I can't
so
point them out on a map.
Living
so.
Large Chicago is have you ever been to their event?
I have not.
Who is this?
Living Large
Living Large.
Chicago. So Jessica Heflin is the organizer for that with Daisy and her team, and they do all kinds of stuff. But their most well-known party is the Halloween party every year in October, and this year it's called Wicked. And so she has kind of come up with some different ideas over the last. I mean, this has been years in the works. It sounds like, but just trying to come up with more creative ways to do events. They got about 430 people to their event last year, and she was like, I want to do more. I want to go bigger. So they're still having their Halloween event this year, but she kind of got together with some like minds. I know you guys know Bree.
Right.
So with Well Rounded, and I think even now we've been in discussions with Shapely and a couple other groups who are coming together to kind of create this unique collaboration. I know that events like this have existed before. NAFA's been around for years doing great things when it comes to combining the bash world with also the kind of the activism side of things and also the fashion. But the interesting thing about some of these events is it's really hard to get influencers out to, and some of the body positive advocates that are in the younger generation. So the goal is to get more people involved in new faces to come in. So it's unique in the sense of taking all of these groups who have been doing things different ways for different years and saying, well, let's take the best parts of all of those things and put it into one big event. And that created Curvapalooza. So it's next July. It's also at the Link, which is unique in that typically, the hotels, we're familiar with our local hotels, but this is a pretty big hotel. It's one of the bigger resort chains. They've got a beautiful pool. They're right in the center of the Strip. So it's going to be a pretty big event. So
When is it happening?
July 14th through the 19th. And tickets will actually be going on sale July 1st. We've got a Facebook group. We've got
This July
Twitter
1st, a year ahead.
next year, a year from now.
Okay.
2020, yeah.
So then you only have 14 days to buy your ticket, right?
Wait, what?
You
no,
said
next year.
When are the tickets going?
Oh, they're going
sale?
on sale July 1st, yeah.
Of this
Of this
year.
year.
For
Okay.
the event next
Correct.
year.
Okay.
Yes. So we wanted to give
It
people-
helps secure, for those who haven't planned like super huge events, the reason places do the pre-sales, it helps secure everything and get it
I know.
Exactly.
in place.
That's what I
And
figured
give
it was
them
supposed to be.
It
Yeah.
gives them a feel for how many they can expect in attendance, because we could all say like we're interested,
Yep.
but until you're like, hey, I'm ready to commit, you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the goal was that because there's so many great things happening in the community over the next year,
Right.
it's wanting to give people enough time to plan for it. And so that they know that it's coming, and if they wanted to come, they can look at airfare and travel and all those things. So it's definitely got plenty of time if you're thinking about it to come. A lot of really great things happening as far as the agenda. Still working on those details and finalizing, but I do know Curvy Confidence is going to be there as well. So I'm actually managing the social media for Curvapalooza for this particular project. And then also helping create a community here of people. One thing Living Large Chicago has been great at for the last 6 years has been meetups. So they have their big events, but they also do a lot of local meetups to kind of gain not only new faces, but to create a sense of community. Because it's great that all these people fly in from all over, but you really create a sense of community in your city when you have constant things happening.
And it's not always like a dance
Yeah,
or a...
exactly. They do bowling, they do family-friendly events, they do all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to head up kind of the hospitality side of it here in terms of creating that kind of sense of community since I'm local. So we have our first meetup coming up here in a couple weeks, not next Saturday, but the following Saturday at Yard House. So, and it's just kind of a little casual kickoff. People can come out, meet, obviously.
Is that the 21st, the 22nd?
Does that mean you now have a meetup page as well?
We do. We got all kinds of new stuff now. It is the 29th of June.
Okay.
Because actually that week is Dallas Bash.
Just to share on the 22nd, I'm going to see Hootie and the Blowfish. I just
Ooh,
have to
okay.
tell everybody. I know you may not
I
know
may be
who it
young,
is.
but I know who it
It's
is.
Darius Rucker.
Okay.
He used to belong to this group.
I do know who it is.
I love...
And I know
Darius
who
Rucker.
Hootie
This
and the
is
Blowfish
like
are.
1994 Toxie is totally so excited about this. Like, ridiculously.
That's awesome.
Is it?
I will listen to Darius Rucker's Country. That's how much I like it.
I
Same.
agree.
And
I'm
I don't
actually
like country.
I'm introducing my daughter to this. I'm making her go with me.
Yay!
Only because I in turn have to go see the Jonas Brothers who are back on
Oh.
tour.
You know secretly inside you're fangirling.
I don't know.
No.
Okay. I'm the only one that doesn't like the Jonas Brothers.
I was at like Camp Rock, like I could bust out some Camp Rock songs, and I'm not gonna exactly sit in my seat at the concert.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the mom who's there with the juice box, like jamming,
That's awesome.
trying to catch a glimpse of Nick's butt. I don't know. I'm not the most appropriate person ever.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So anyway, that's coming up.
Yeah, so the event itself is next year. Like I said, tickets go on sale here soon. Another exciting thing is that I also we just announced it in the Nation group. I don't know if you guys are in that group.
Yes.
Group of guys who typically we're very supportive in the plus size community at these events. They threw parties the last 2 years at Cocoa Beach, pool parties. And so they had reached out to Jessica about doing an event and mentioned collaborating with me. So I'll actually be in Chicago in October this year as well with Curvy Confidence, partnering with them for it's called Funk by the Pool.
Right.
So it's like a old school music. Yeah. Despite
That's
the name,
awesome.
it's old school music. It's going to be awesome.
So the name is like, we got the funk.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Got the funk, yeah.
Yeah. That kind of music.
I like the name, and I like the flyer for it too. Like,
Yes.
I'm so simple.
It's so
I
cute.
like things that just catch my eye, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, cute, then I'll remember it.
Yeah.
So I did see that. So you'll be sharing some of that info, and of course we'll share it here
Yeah.
as well. And just throw out, as far as this summer, a few things going on. I'm really crappy about remembering dates, but Excellence BBW is coming up. Stu and his summer event, which is one of the first ones you went to in this community. We have Bree's pop-up parties, and she is extending her dates to book rooms to July 4th. June 15th is the deadline for Bash passes at the current price. And we also have, as a pre to the pop-up, we have the ladies at Crave doing the pre-party. And that
Wow,
is,
that's cool.
yeah, so that will, I believe they kind of all sandwich into each other. So I think we have Excellence, Crave Party, Breeze Pop-Up, bam. So it's a lot of good times.
I don't want to assume, but I know Jacob usually does a pre-party for the Excellence Bash.
So we'll have to ask him,
Yeah.
but he usually does. So we'll have to get a little bit more on that from
Oh,
our
I
friend
think-
Jakey Poo.
I think it's actually TPP this summer. I think
Okay.
just given everything with Katie and everything that they've got going on, I think
Okay.
TPP's hosting.
Okay.
Hey, Melanie, there's
All
some
right,
guy
excellent.
that's
To
wandering the
verify.
hall out there.
Is he your guy? Is he with you guys?
No.
Oh.
No,
I assume
we don't travel in packs.
I assume we're talking Uber driver. I wasn't sure.
Maybe.
So you'll definitely share that out. Oh yeah, we have the Nation. So Andy, we had Andy on once at an event, and half of our time was spent trying to pronounce his last name. Because we're really bad at it. So Andy will just go with that. So you're gonna
Okay,
share your
Hillary, I
info.
don't love Darius that much. Good on you for naming your son Darius.
Yeah.
So we
That's
have
commitment.
10 more minutes or so, and I have to tell you, I totally got caught at work making these little signs because we're super high tech here on SinCityBounty. I want to play a game of Never Have I Ever
Oh my gosh.
because
I love it.
sometimes I think I'm Ellen DeGeneres and.
Also terrified.
Would you like to come play? You can come take my spot. Are you okay being on camera? I will ask the
Moderate.
questions.
Gonna moderate.
No, let her ask the questions.
Let me ask the question.
No, come on. I brought 4 thumbs up in case you want
You
to. I don't
can't.
want to answer the damn questions.
You can't because you're the star of the show.
I think if you
And
not.
the fans would get
Come on.
upset if you don't answer
So
the
you
questions.
scooch in with us. You can play as well.
Yes, you can scooch in.
he should do the question.
He will. Let's get him to. Let's scooch you. Again, these are high tech.
So high tech.
Super high tech.
Super
I
high
love
tech.
Okay.
Let me get you guys practice the thumbs and hold on.
Okay. I'm gonna take a picture with my high tech thumb.
Some crazy clown.
Selfie.
Normally she's taking the selfies on the show.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes.
sit your ass.
I'm trying to get Johnny, but he's chasing strangers.
He'll come.
Okay,
You
ready?
can ask the questions and do the thumb too.
So here, to explain how easy it'll be, we're going to ask the question and then answer it. Thumbs up if you agree with the question and you have done it. Thumbs down if you have not. For example, something super easy. Never have I ever tried to cut my own hair. So I totally have, so I have a thumbs down.
You totally have?
Totally tried to cut, yeah.
So if you do, it's a thumbs down.
Right. If you agree with
Okay.
the statement, it's a thumbs up.
Oh, I've totally never tried to cut.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
Got it.
All right.
So
Brain.
never have I
Got it.
ever tried to cut my own hair. I can't agree with that statement, so it's a thumbs down.
Okay.
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 We all have tried to cut our own hair.
That's kind of confusing.
We all
but
have.
Okay.
Super simple. Never have I ever smuggled food or candy into a movie theater. So
We
I
have.
have.
Okay.
Totally.
So it's negative.
Okay.
Negative.
I smuggled food in here, so.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure there's a burrito in my pocket, so
know,
I get it. I
it's fine,
totally
it's
get
good,
it.
it's
I
good.
got it. Never have I ever sang terrible karaoke while drunk. That's definitely a thumbs down.
Terrible. You're a great singer.
That doesn't mean
Yours
it was good.
doesn't count. No, I've
That's
heard you
not-
sing,
You
and
don't
I've heard
count.
you sing super drunk, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So
And do you not sing karaoke?
Very, very rarely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm usually sober if I do.
mine's only when I'm drunk, and it's always terrible.
Never. Some of these are going to be a little more
Uh-huh.
in depth. Never ever have I slept nude. I had to put clothes on to
So
walk
if
into
we
the
have
studio.
slept nude,
It's negative.
okay. I'm gonna have to keep asking questions for
That's
clarification
okay.
on this
I
sort of
wasn't. I wasn't quite sure because of the way it says "never have I ever."
Yeah.
Like you're either supposed to agree or disagree.
Right.
So in this case, I mean, like I said, I put clothes to come into the studio, so the nude thing's not a big deal.
I also have a naked apartment. I got
There you go. Yeah, exactly. All right, never have I ever had a one-night stand. So,
All of us have had.
okay.
Have you ever had a one-night stand?
Oh, come on.
Does it count if I've talked to them after the one night stand?
Did you hook up again? It's a one-time thing typically.
Right.
I
Like,
did
you
not
could
want to
talk.
hook up again.
I don't
They
think
tried.
You could talk, but like you didn't get together
That's called
again.
a
Like
friend
it was a
benefit if
one,
you hooked up again.
a
Okay.
one and done.
One and done. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So that's if I had an
That's
extra
like
thumb.
total against my brain, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I agree.
It's like mirror imaging something. I'm like, I don't. What?
Never have I ever given or received a lap dance. Well,
Well, that's.
I will probably lap dance you before the show is
I
over.
have never given one, but I have totally received one.
Have you? So where?
Male, female.
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Was one of them from me?
No. You have never sat in my lap.
Slacking.
It's one
Not
of the,
yet.
It's one of the few laps, apparently.
It's your first time
What I
for
hear is
everything.
that's a challenge.
Right.
Is what I'm hearing.
The,
So.
the first, just really quick, my very first time on the show when they were introducing me as a new host, I got nervous, so I went with what I knew.
To give people a lap dance.
Well,
Totally did.
I had the microphone and I was out, like we were interviewing people in the audience, so I was doing it from in their lap. And I'm like, hi. And I mean, I remember like one girl was there and it was obviously a couple and I'm like, can I sit on his lap? She's like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, can I sit on your
You
lap
know,
too?
that was like
5
5
years
years
ago.
ago, and you were already asking people permission to touch them. That's awesome.
I was. Consent is huge.
I
You were
had the
asking
game.
permission, yeah.
Right? It's huge. It's huge. Let's see here. Never have I ever been kicked out of a bar.
Oh, yeah. Wait, so if we have, it's
So-
down, right?
Right.
You've never been kicked out of a
so
bar?
for all of my shenanigans, believe it or
No
not,
way.
Never kicked out of a bar. You guys have been kicked out of
Oh
bars?
yeah.
Stories,
that is
please?
amazing.
I'm bad about getting into bar fights.
Oh yeah, she's really aggressive.
Like, I will throw down, especially after like a few beers and shots. It's like I have some aggression issues. It's fine.
Right.
I'm working on it. We're
I
good.
got.
Who are you fighting with?
Oh, well, like, one was like this dude touched my ass, and so I turned around, I was like, the fuck? And he goes, yeah, well, it's kind of big, so I wanted to smack part of it. I said, smack this, and then I gave him an elbow. And then the guy that I was dating at the time was like, why are you fighting? I said, why are you not fighting? And then we broke up, so let that be a lesson.
Can we hang out with her?
She's great.
I'm the one. See, I'm the one who, if a fight's about to happen, like I will have your back.
Yes.
But I will fucking have your back from a ball curled up on the ground.
me
crying.
too.
Cool.
But I will have it though. I will have
Cool,
it. I will be down there.
Another fighter.
Good to know.
If I can trip them for you, I will.
Yeah.
I can yell like curse words. I can do that from down in my ball. Like,
Yes.
you fucking fucker.
She's gonna beat your ass. Ooh.
Yeah. When I get like
Cool.
angry, I get this high, my big girl voice. It gets even higher if
Yeah.
that's possible.
Uh-huh.
But I did get in a fight, and I believe you were there, a verbal altercation with somebody at the Rooster once because I had too much tequila. And she said something, and I was like
Yes.
yelling at her from outside,
Yes.
like,
And you didn't get kicked out?
I didn't get kicked out. No.
We were off on the patio area.
Right.
See, I'm not a fighter. Mine wasn't quite that
And
exciting.
it only got loud for like a mere moment.
Okay.
The rest of it was like dangerous glares.
Right. So I can fucking dangerous glare you like there's no tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
That's
what was your bar kick out?
So mine actually was a little bit different. So my girlfriend was with me the one night, and she would like nonstop was not like she was like talking to these guys, and I was ready to go. I was drunk. I was ready to go. I'm like, let's go. And she's like, no, I'm still talking to these guys. So at this particular bar, they had doors that the alarm goes off when you touch them.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked over to it, and I just kept hitting the door until security ran over and said, it's time for you to go. And then my friend had to leave with me. So
Yeah.
Passive aggressive.
She was totally.
God.
She was totally breaking the code. Though.
The one in high school setting off the smoke alarm, like.
just tap in the door, yeah, pretty much. There we go.
All right,
never
just come
have,
more.
never have I ever given a stranger a fake phone number. I might have
Totally
done
done
it
that.
like within the past 5 days. Never have I ever had sex in a public place. Wow, look at us.
Where was yours?
A public place, we'll leave it at that.
Where was yours?
A movie theater.
Where's yours?
The zoo.
Drive it.
The zoo. That was at least.
Was it in front of any of the animal cages?
So look, at the LA Zoo, there's this never mind, I'm not going to give away my secrets, but it was in between two cages on a rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
What else are you supposed to do with that space?
I'm just saying, there's a reason it's there. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Mine wasn't near as exciting. It was at a pool. It was a public pool. I also happened to work at the place too, so that probably wasn't the best thing to do. So Abby, social media. How do people find you?
Curvy Chic Chick on Facebook and Instagram. That's also where I have the Curvy Confidence stuff kind of falling under now. I'm just umbrellaing it under one page because there's a lot of other pages. And then also Curvapalooza on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Meetup.
Okay.
I'm Alexia,
Kristen.
Abby.
Toxie.
and we will see you next week if you're brave enough.
Later, bitches!